What it do, Modified family? We out here doing work. Most of this is just to show you where we are. I haven't made a video for a while. Guitar, Honda, anything. But I got a lot going on. It finally stopped raining, so I can finally get out here and show you what has changed. But you know what you got to do. You got to give me 5 on my black hand side and let's go. All right, here's what changed. Sorry, I'm trying to escape out of my garage. I need to sell a bunch of Honda stuff. I have an overflow of Honda parts. I wish people would hit me up like, hey, I need this. Do you have this? Yes, you can have it. You can buy it. Don't care. Need to get rid of it. So I made some changes. A good friend of mine wanted my EK hatchback. Which one? The white one. B16 swapped, EK4 seats in the back, EP3 seats in the front. Very cool car. Spent a lot of time, a lot of work in that. It was blowing some soot out the back, so I'm like, hey, let me take care of this. Let me make sure this is all good for you. So what ended up happening was I traded a guitar to my mechanic friend at work, and he replaced the rings and checked the valves and just put this thing whole back together, and I was able to trade it for a 2007 Honda Fit, which I'm now the proud owner of. It's really cool. It's really fun. I've not really done a lot of work to it. Don't really plan on doing a lot of work to it. Just mostly want to paint it. So that's number one. And I'll show you that. Number two, my baby, the one I've had for like the longest time, my 2000 Civic hatchback, my silver one, GSR swapped, Integra blue confetti interior, just minty fresh. Thing was super clean. It could have used a paint job, but some dudes came up from LA. I posted it for sale or trade. They came up and bought it for about $3,500. I mean, that's probably what the motor was worth. So the car kind of went for free, but I then parlayed that money into my next purchase. So let's go check that out. So these are my new babies. I picked up an Ep3 over in Orange Cove, California. It's about 2.5 hours away, somewhere like northeast of here. I'd never heard of it, but this is what we got. I think it's pretty cool. I have not had 3 seconds to even get into it. I went and I test drove it for about 15 minutes. The check engine light came on, I guess, before I got there, and VTEC wasn't turning on, so I got to figure that out. But it was only $3K, so it very much seemed worth it for a 2003 Civic Si. So there's a lot of things I'm going to fix. I'm going to clean it up. It was originally blue. They did a decent enough job painting it. I mean, just by sitting here looking at it, you know that those Honda Fit 16-inch wheels are coming off that and going on here, because I don't like anything about what's going on here. But I have just been ordering parts just to get this thing all tuned up, get it ready for smog, and then hopefully for a long life with me. This is the Honda Fit. It's super rad. My friend took care of it. He primed it all one color so it can be painted, but I'm going to put the factory wheels back on it because that also came with the deal. I think I traded some other wheels for it. But yeah, pretty cool. On my EP3, this is really the only damage right there. Otherwise, like, the body seems pretty straight. Oh, the paint has more sparkle in it than I realize right now. I think this is the Type R wing because I had one of these before and the actual wing was like super short. So I'm definitely going to leave this. I'm not spending another $300 on another wing because everything's expensive for these bad dogs. But it looks good on the back. Already has the Type R lights, stock exhaust, which I wanted. I probably have to pull the mud flaps if I want to put, what's it called, lips on there. But it looks good, everything. And then I'm going to try to get the wiper blade fixed. I already have that ordered. Yeah, this bad. The dog looks good. I mean, these cars are very similar, very, very cool. I still have this car, but I'm going to put it back together. I got a bunch of turbo cans to paint this thing all one color white, so hopefully people will appreciate it and like it. Right now I need to load the Honda Fit wheels in here, plus the tires, so I can get those dropped off at the tire shop this week, so I can get the right wheels on the right cars. So I am very excited. These are the Honda Fit wheels that are going to go on there. They were powder coated black. Probably stayed on there, maybe a little curved, but I don't think any of them are bent. So 2 have tires, 2 don't, but I don't think those tires are good enough to run. And I really want to take these to get powder coated, but I just don't have the money. I'll probably run it till the new tires wear out, and then maybe I'll think about powder coating some cool color like bronze. But I love Honda factory wheels, as you can probably tell from like most of my cars. But now I gotta get the tires loaded up, and then this project is done, and I can get on to showing you some more of the cool stuff that we have coming. Okay, tires are loaded. This is the best air freshener, brand new tires. These are full weight tires, nothing special. I used to be super obsessed with getting like name brand tires and like, oh, these can't come from China. I don't give a crap. These are actually going to be 195 55 15s. I was thinking about going 205, but I'm like, why? And I went with a 55 instead of a 50 because I want this ride to be super comfortable for my daily and my old age on the Honda Fit. So these are going to get mounted hopefully sometimes this week, and then I'll put them on my car and switch wheels. And also too, I'm getting all the stuff together. You see the carpet down here, a bunch of the plastics are tucked away so they won't get smashed by the wheels and everything in my trunk. But I'm gonna put all the plastics back in just because I think this car will have more value to somebody if it has all those things in there, even though they're probably gonna do the exact same thing and take them right out. But just like appearances matter, you know, people don't buy potential, they buy what almost looks like a more finished project. So that's what we're trying to do with this bad dog. All right, here's the interior of this car. Just a quick little tour. Clean door cards, luckily. Everything here looks pretty solid. Every Ep3 seat I've ever seen is worn down there, so I was not worried about that. Even my last one, I got that repaired. This one, I'm just gonna hold on to hope and only fix it when it gets really bad. Just a factory steering wheel. I gotta figure out how to make cruise control work, because I think it's in there. It was funny, on my drive back, the interior is good. On my drive back, I thought, oh, I forgot to test one thing. Let me make sure that these emergency flashers work. So I hit the emergency flashers, and for about an hour, I drove with them jokers on. And I'm like, there ain't no way. And so when I got home, I went to Harbor Freight and bought those plastic tools to open up the dash. I watched the video, and I just unplugged it. But I also ordered all new paneling, and all my friends were like, oh, what, you're too manly for the pink? And it's like, no, I really don't mind the pink. It's kind of cool, it's kind of interesting, but the problem is they painted it with like house paint or the wrong paint, or didn't degrease it. I don't really know. So I just got the clean ones because I want this thing just to be nice, factory clean. I want to keep it for a long time. Stock ECU, I need to tuck that back up in there. But I also need to check the cabin air filter. And then I have the cover for the engine in there. So I was pretty stoked on all that stuff. And then we're gonna check out the engine bay real quick, and then we'll go and check out some of the parts I have for the projects coming up. As far as I know, everything's pretty complete. And I was looking at the hood, and I thought they were just like holes in the paint. No, they're just like straight like bullet holes through there. But that's okay. It just tempts me to either get a new hood or a carbon fiber hood when I get some money coming my way. So it seems to be that everything's in here because everything looks pretty solid. And so I need to put that cover back on. And then I want to get one of those covers that covers the spark plugs. And then this cover, they just had, I don't know, because he told me that they had a K24 in here with a turbo, but then they took that out and put a stock motor back in here. So I'm hoping that everything is stock. And I'm just finding things that need to be replaced. Like today, I see I need like one more mount on this engine mount here, like one more of those little spiky things to hold it. And to get this smogged, I need to fix this because I need the rubber hose that connects this. I might have to make a little piece for that, but otherwise it looks pretty good. So I'll probably have this engine bay cleaned. And it drove really well, except for not engaging VTEC, but it's looking good to me. So I think I got a pretty good deal. And it's funny, even though I have those like JDM hood props that like bump it up a little bit to get that little vintage look, I am taking these craps off. I want this thing to be flat. It's funny because that car has them and I have no problem with it, but I don't like it on this car. But everything else looks good. I need to get new side markers. I think these ones are broken, and I want to put a front lip on there. And I did want to put fog lights on there, but I'm realizing that they cut that whole center part out, so maybe just like a hard plastic grill or something. We'll figure it out because I probably will not waste the money buying a whole new bumper. And then in conclusion, just rounding it out, the last few things I bought a new one of these that's not painted pink. This has the wiper blade and wiper arm. I'm hoping that the motor is in there. It's just not either plugged in or whatnot. So I'm hoping that works because I'd love to have the rear wiper on there. And then the one last thing I bought was a new one of these with a new, came with that. So I'm hoping that fixes all my problems. I'll have a pretty clean EP3 just to do little tune-up things. It's definitely more expensive than my old EKs, but parts are getting a little bit harder to find, and I'm looking for something that's a little bit quieter, a little bit more modern. I think these are really good trades. So now I just need to sell my red hatchback, and I need to sell my wagon project, and I need to sell all these parts that are out here in the garage, which also reminds me that I had one of my old friends wrap a steering wheel for me, and it's an RSX steering wheel, and so I think I'm going to swap over to this bad dog because it's cleaner. It's a little dusty for me out in the garage, but that steering wheel, all the plastic is very rough, and this suede feels really good. And probably when that steering wheel's out, I can suede that one, but otherwise they're identical, EP3 and RSX, but I'm going to use the Honda airbag, so it has the H on there. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, Modified family, that's the projects we have now. So I hope to make a bunch of cool videos for like, I think like 104 people watching. I appreciate that. And I hope everyone appreciates the car stuff and the guitar stuff, because I have lots of interest, and I hope it's interesting to you guys too. Like all the videos I'm watching right now on EP3s and really getting back into it are all from like the UK. So I'm chatting with all them blokes. It's pretty dope. All right, Modified family, until I see you next time, peace.